Good afternoon, everyone. It's a little afternoon here on the 22nd of January 2025. Mark's been reading through the Gospels. He's been reading through the Gospel of John. Today he's going to be reading through the 12th chapter of John. There are many historical and spiritual events that happen in this chapter. Lazarus was raised from the dead in Bethany. I never realized that until today. And this is also where Christ ascended to heaven outside of Bethany. And the Passover was held in Bethany. Actually 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany, Jesus went to Bethany, where Lazarus had been dead, was raised from the dead. And Martha made a supper for him, and Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. And this is also where Mary took spikenard and wiped her feet with her hair, and Judas made a big deal over how much she'd paid for this. Of course, he held the purse. And Jesus told Judas to let her alone. And it says much of the people, the Jews, therefore knew that he was there. And they came so they could see Lazarus because he rose from the dead. And the chief priests were conspiring to figure out how they could put Lazarus also to death, because many of the Jews had seen Lazarus raised from the dead, and they had believed on Jesus. And that's when they took the palm branches, went forth to meet Jesus, and cried, "Hosanna, blessed is the King of Israel, cometh in the name of the Lord." And that's when Jesus took a young ass and rode into Jerusalem on a foal of an ass, as was predicted in the Old Testament. And a lot of the people that were there raising these palm branches were the people that had witnessed Lazarus being raised from the dead. And then the Pharisees say the whole world's gone out after him. That didn't mean the whole world without exception, did it? And it also says there were Greeks that came up to worship at the feast. And Philip said, we would see Jesus. There's a song in the Primitive Baptist hymnal. I even remember the numbers, 170. We would see Jesus. And Jesus said, the hour has come that the Son of Man should be glorified. He said, except a corn of wheat fall on the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. And Jesus prayed, Father, glorify thy name. And there came a voice from heaven that says, I have glorified, and it will glorify it, and will glorify it. And Jesus said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. He said, the prince of this world shall be cast out. If I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. He didn't mean all men without exception. He meant all of his elect, Jews and Gentiles. Jesus said, a while is light with you, while you walk have the light. While you have the light, believe in the light, that you be the children of the light. And then they said that all these things were spoken because Isaiah the prophet had to be fulfilled, which he spake. Remember when Isaiah said, "Who hath believed our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed?" And it says they could not believe because Isaiah said again, "He that blindeth their eyes and hardened their hearts, did not see with their eyes nor understand with their heart and be converted, that I should heal him." He's speaking there of reprobation. It said a lot of them did believe on him, but they wouldn't confess him because they would be put out of the synagogues. They loved the praise more than the praise of God. Jesus said he came as light into the world. And he said that he had not spoken of himself, but the Father which had sent him. And he said he knows that his covenant is life everlasting. So I'm going to turn this over to Mark and have him read this entire chapter for you. I hope you have a blessed afternoon. It's starting to warm up here in Pineville. It's actually over 32 degrees now. A little different than yesterday.
John chapter 12. And Jesus 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, yarn, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then saith one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, "Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor?" This he said not that he cared for the poor, because he was a thief and had the bag and bare what was put therein. Then said Jesus, "Let her alone. Against the day of my burying hath she kept this. The poor always you have with me. The poor always you have with you, but me ye have not always." Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there, and they came not for Jesus' sake only, they might see Lazarus also, whom he had raised from the dead. Chief priests consulted they might put Lazarus also to death, because that by reason of him many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus. On the next day much people that were come to the feast, when they heard Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and went forward to meet him, and cried, "Hosanna! Blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Lord." Jesus, when he had found a young ass, sat thereon, as is written, "Fear not, daughter of Zion, behold, thy King cometh, sitting on an ass's colt." These things understood not his disciples at the first, but when Jesus was glorified, remembered they these things were written of him, and that they had done these things unto him. The people therefore that was with him, when he called Lazarus out of his grave and raised him from the dead, bear a record. For this cause the people also met him, for that they heard that he had done this miracle. Pharisees therefore said among themselves, "Perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is gone after him." There were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida of Galilee, and desired him, saying, "Sir, we would see Jesus." Philip cometh and telleth Andrew, and again Andrew and Philip tell Jesus. Jesus answered them, saying, "The hour is come, the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except the corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone, but if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. For this cause came I unto this hour. Father, glorify thy name." Then there came a voice from heaven, saying, "I am both glorified and will glorify it again." The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said an angel spake to him. Jesus answered and said, the voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment in this world, now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. This he saith, signifying what death he should die. People answered him, we have heard out of the law that Christ abideth forever. How sayest thou the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man? And Jesus said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. He that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of light. These things spake Jesus, departed, and did hide himself from them, though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. And that the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report? To whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because Isaiah said again, he that blindeth their eyes and hardeneth their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory, and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, because the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried and said, he that believeth on me believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. He that seeth me seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. If any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not, for I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejected me and receiveth not my words hath one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment what I should say and what I should speak. I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Hope you all have a blessed day today. Christ certainly went through an awful lot while he was down here on this earth.